and Harry's parents, Tim and Charlotte, join us now, and I'm so sorry you are here under these circumstances. What was he like? What sort of guy was he?
Amazing. Always made us smile. Big heart, really big heart. Worked 5-6 days a week to fund that passion for riding. Basically gave up a career. He could have gone to uni.
Yeah.
He came out with merits and distinctions at college in IT and gaming, and was just like, no, I just want to ride my bikes.
And he was a good rider. I mean, he was a safe rider. He'd put his hours in, hadn't he?
Yeah. Over 50,000 miles in 3.5 years. Most bikers don't cover that in their whole lifetime.
Yeah.
He went through about 7 bikes in those short 3.5 years because the miles were racked up so much. You know, the engines had to be rebuilt and
Well, you
moved on to the
described
next
him as
bike.
the centrepiece of the family.
Absolutely. No, he certainly was. As you can see, we're a big family with the way we've turned around and got remarried, and he's held the whole family together. But then he'd be the one texting you when he's finishing your work at 10:30 at night. Night, Dad, see you tomorrow, I love you, and stuff like that. He was, honestly, he was like that. It was amazing, amazing lad.
And so on this day, on August the 27th at 8:30, where was he going that day?
We think he was probably coming home. It was a road that he knew and loved, a typical piece of road that he knew and loved. He'd already been to visit his twin brother that evening in that village. We believe he then went off to one of the local fuel stations. He, according to his bank statements we're looking at from this, put fuel in his bike, went to the cash point, and took what would be his usual route home. He always liked the back roads as opposed to the boring bypass. Yeah. But quite often, you know, you'd hear him go through our village, just about to slow down to come home, and then you'd hear him zoom off again, thinking. Then the text would come through via his Bluetooth that he'd speak into. Not ready to come home yet. I still want to go riding.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we think he was coming home.
When did you hear that something had gone so tragically wrong?
I heard that evening. I have a friend that works for our local fire brigade, and fortunately for me, he got hold of me, and I got informed why Harry had speak to him and comfort him while the paramedics and that were doing their work. So
They said they were going to sedate him, didn't they?
yeah, they did. He was struggling to breathe, so they come and told me we're going to need to sedate Harry to help him with his breathing. So I spoke to him and said, you know, Harry, they're going to sedate you. It's for your own good. Let them do what they're doing. And he sort of calmed, and because he was complaining of chest pain, so he was.
Yeah.
It is unclear of what exactly happened in that moment. And Nick Adderley, Chief Constable of Northamptonshire Police, said the forces investigating the road crash said, based on CCTV evidence, officers knew that a vehicle had left the RAF base and was on the wrong side of the road. And this vehicle is the vehicle, allegedly, of Anne Sacoolas. And this is the wife of the US diplomat who was based there.
Yes.
And this is where the problem, I mean, the nightmare of losing your child is bad enough, but on top
Was she
of that,
at the scene?
No, well, if she was, I didn't see her. I think she'd already left. So.
And did the police
Well,
think? And obviously, as Holly said, we have to keep using the word alleged because she hasn't. She's not here, and so the investigation continues currently without her.
Yes.
But had she been the driver of that car, did it strike you as unusual that you know you're nursing your son on the road that the driver of the other vehicle wasn't present?
Well, I did inquire about the driver because obviously I was more concerned they were okay, you know, because there's been an accident, you know, and you don't know, you know. I see the car and I see the windscreen was smashed in where Harry obviously had gone into it. So I did ask after them, and the police did tell me, said no, that she's okay, and that was basically it, really. They just said, no, she's OK. And I didn't really... My mind was more focused on Harry, so I wasn't sort of thinking about, you know... I just assumed everything was just going as it would do normally, an accident like that.
And you're angry about this because at the time you were led to believe that she wasn't going to leave the country. And the police were informed, I think it was on the 28th of August, that she was claiming diplomatic immunity. You weren't told until September the 26th, around about that time.
That's right, yeah.
So this is quite a way after, and the reason that you're frustrated is because you'd have sought legal advice on this and maybe have been able to do something different.
A lot sooner.
Much sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, much sooner. If we'd have... You know, we live in a small area. There were rumours going around that she possibly could have gone. We were then trying to find out why. Diplomatic immunity then came up, but we were relying on our police force to do as much as they could. We don't feel they've let us down in any way. I think they came up against something they'd not dealt with before.
Yeah.
Our liaison officer has been very good with us. He's a lovely guy. But we are angry that we didn't get informed sooner, because we would have sought advice much sooner than we've now done, because she's gone. You know, we don't even know when she went.
The police say, Superintendent Sarah Johnston of the Northamptonshire Police said, we followed all of our usual procedures, including liaising closely with the suspects, who engaged fully with us at the time and had previously confirmed to us that she had no plans to leave the country in the near future. A full and thorough investigation, the assistance of all parties involved, needs to take place. How did you feel when you found out that, in fact, she had fled the country?
Shocked.
Yeah,
like we still are.
Yeah.
Just shocked, from not only mother to mother, but from a set of parents to another set of parents, to why did they think it was kind or humane to get on a plane and flee? That's what we're struggling to understand, you know, as parents ourselves, why. We know, and all the support that we have had, which is global now, you know, we're not just getting support from the States, we're getting people come forward from other areas of the world, and they can't understand why you would just flee.
So what would you like to happen? What would you like her to do now? Because you've been very understanding of the accident, more understanding than I think a lot of parents would be in your position. But the thing you can't forgive is her upping and leaving.
No, and I think that's going to take quite a long time. And until, hopefully, we have the chance to meet her and
Talk about it.
Try to talk about it, you know, see
What would you say?
her remorse.
What would you say
Try
to
to
her?
understand.
How she's
Come to
feeling.
the decision to, well, just come to the decision why she would leave.
Why she was feeling that it was the right thing to go.
Well, because she knew that Harry had died. It wasn't like she didn't know he had died. She was told that. And that's the part I really struggle to understand, how you know you would have killed somebody, but you think that is the right decision would then be to flee the country.
Yeah.
And I can't... doesn't make sense to me,
No,
or how anybody can see that as the way to go.
Especially when she was told that he died, when she was told that, you know, she killed him unintentionally or not. She has taken the life of one of our boys. She still said to the police that morning, on our understanding, that she still had no intentions of leaving. They were stationed in the UK for 3 years.
So, do you want to see her behind bars?
Not necessarily.
No, I just want her to come back and face the justice. And if it's not behind bars, then that's fine. But she just needs to come back and own up to what she's done and not hide away from it.
Yeah.
We don't want to take her away from being a mom. This is how we were right at the beginning 6 weeks ago. You know, we said to our police force, you know, we would work with them to get her sentenced, because they were going for death by dangerous driving.
Yeah.
We were happy to work with them, get it reduced to death by careless driving, so that she would face justice but could hopefully get a suspended sentence, allow her to continue to be a mum in what, to her children's opinion, would be a foreign country to them. They'd not lived in the UK before, as far as we're aware, but now we're...
Yes.
She's had 6 weeks now.
You've
to
been
come
more than
forward.
fair. That's
Talking about going to the States, sort of taking the taking the fight to her, the State Department said that they're in close consultation with British officials, and that waiver of immunity requests like this receive intense attention at senior levels. But the spokesman warned immunity is rarely waived. How likely do you think it is that she's going to come back?
Hopefully on her own accord. I mean, you would think, again, from human to human, that she would actually have the decency to say, do you know what, let me go, release me from this diplomatic immunity. Just, you know, I want to go and see them. That's probably our best hope at the moment.
But with the Prime Minister now coming involved, I'm hoping, you know, with the pressure from our Prime Minister, and if they look at the case and reassess what diplomatic immunity means and not what they've done. Do you think it's all part of the Geneva Convention? Do you think this is something that needs updating? Absolutely. Because it's unlikely that when that was written in the first place, it had actually involved the relatives of families who were driving incorrectly, allegedly. It definitely needs updating, overhaul. Definitely. There's got to, if there's anything that comes out of this, we've got to try and make things better in case it happens again for other people. We'll talk about your GoFundMe page in just a moment, because I just want to cross now, because reports suggest that Sacoolas, the alleged driver of the car that killed Harry, had fled back to her hometown of Vienna in Virginia. We've sent our reporter Tamsin Eames out to knock on her door. Tamsin was there last night and joins us now from Washington, D.C., which is half an hour from the Sacoolas' home. What are the recent updates, Tamsin?
Well, the big new shocking developments from today is that this is said not to be Anne Sacoolas' first driving offence. Back in November 2006, Anne Sacoolas was actually caught distracted behind the wheel and was in fact fined £200. Now, the exact charge of that was failure to pay full time and attention. Now, in light of the recent allegations with this new driving offence, people have been in touch with Virginia police, which is where the 2006 incident was said to have happened. They were wanting more information, but interestingly, all the records have been destroyed from that time, so there's no more information on that. We don't know whether... Also, another development is that...
Tamsin, we should say that we don't know whether there is a usual time restraint on the keeping of those sort of records.
No, we don't. No, we don't. That's a fact, yes. But interestingly, we weren't able to get any more information on that. Also, another development that has come about is that the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, has been in touch with his US equivalent, Mike Pompeo, the State of Secretary, and he's been in touch with him about this matter. And a spokesperson said that Mr. Raab has said that he reiterated his disappointment with the US decision and urged them to reconsider.
So has anyone seen her?
Well, surprisingly, no one has seen her. It's rumoured to have had a home there that the family owned 3 years ago before she moved to Britain, but there have been no signs of her at all. Now, neighbours around the area have said that they spotted removal trucks about a month ago. Now, I actually went to Vienna last night to have a look around the area. Now, it is a beautiful town. It's very suburbia. There's Halloween decorations out everywhere. Very patriotic, actually. Lots of American flags dangling in front of people's homes. Now, I went to the rumoured address of Anne Sacoolas, and it was set so far back on this really long, winding road, set so far back from the road, surrounded by woodlands, that it was pitch black. It looked empty, as if no one was there. Although there were signs posted at the front of the address on a mailbox and on the wall that said, it clearly stated they didn't want media there, they didn't want trespassers there, and that anyone who is wanting to contact the people who they think live there, they no longer live there, and the property is now being rented.
What did the local community say?
Well, interestingly, I went to Fairfax County last night, which is where Vienna actually is in Virginia, and considering this is such a huge story in Britain, everyone is talking about it in Britain, and this is a local woman that is in their local town, very few people actually knew about it. Now, the people that I did break the news to and told, it was quite a split decision. Half the people said that they had sympathy for the family and that they were incredibly shocked. The other half, though, just almost treated this as another news day in America. They didn't see the huge attraction to this news story. Now, the people who did say that they were shocked, however, did describe Anne Sacoolas to me as a coward, said that she should absolutely hold her hands up and admit to what she's done. And they said that it's completely unfair that because she's a wife of a diplomat, there are these rules for her and there are different rules for the rest of the citizens, and they don't think that's fair. Right. Now, interestingly, that the other half of the people that I'd spoken to, they sympathised with Anne Sacoolas. They held their hands up and said that they've been driving in other countries before and have driven on the wrong side of the road. What she did is seen as an accident. And actually, if they had the power as well to claim immunity, that they would do that. And
Right,
they also
Tamsin,
stated that
we've got to
Trump
wrap
has
it up
so many
there.
priorities in America that this shouldn't be his priority. They were very clear on that this shouldn't be top of his agenda. Although what they did say is even if no criminal charges are brought forward for Sacoolas, that she should actually apologise to the family.
All right,
Yeah,
Tamsin,
thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. We're running a
Thank
little
you.
bit short of time, and I did want to just quickly get in. You've set up your GoFundMe page.
Yes.
Justice for Harry.
Justice for Harry,
Justice
thank you.
for Harry,
You
yeah.
want to. What you want to do also is on these bases. You want to instruct people as they leave the bases which side of the road to drive.
Yeah, we have talked about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
put some signage up to let them know which side of the road. It seems quite simple, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Out of any base, you could just put a couple of signs up, or 2 or 3 signs, and just let people know, just to remind
We'll
them.
put details of that on our app.
Please
And
do.
thank you.
We can't let it happen again.
No.
You know, she's taken our son.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
both
both.
of you, for
Thank
coming
you.
in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.